are y'all doing? Good. Push in on the big part and then pull the lever when it comes out.
Press the big knob. Oh, look, we can watch TV back here.
Yeah, that's like couldn't have worked out any better on a couple different levels. Well, that's pretty cool that you got those LGBTQ lights on that map right there.
What's that? Oh.
That tells when he turns too sharp.
Yeah, Rainbow Road. Yeah, it's funny. I get that. So, like I do, you know, obviously Uber all over Houston. When I go into Montrose, that's what they are. Oh, you got the LGBT, LMNOP stuff up there, or however it goes. But yeah, it's just, it's not. It's just Rainbow Road. You can do different. Yeah. You can do like blue color.
Well, I figured I was safe saying that you didn't remind me as that somebody's gonna be offended by that.
No, absolutely not. How are y'all doing this evening? You have good dinner?
Did.
Awesome.
Did.
Awesome.
Ate way too goddamn much.
Well, you know, you got to do it when you go to Fleming's.
Well, when somebody else is paying for it,
that's even better.
You got to have one of everything.
That's even better. It's like a company dinner.
Yeah, it was. Yeah. And we can convince El Presidente to buy an extra bottle of wine just because.
There you go. When you can get El Gran Jefe.
Yep.
To take the bill and go to that other list of wines.
That's right. Go to the good list.
Go to the good list, not the $30 specials.
Not the one that starts with H. House.
Yeah. Y'all are a good distance away from home, though. Woodlands to Katy. That's
Well, the comical part about that story is that our sales manager is here with the El Presidente.
Okay.
And El Presidente asks sales manager, "Where's a good in between for everybody?" And sales manager picks this. You don't realize
he doesn't own a map.
75% of us at the dinner was down in Katy.
Man. I think, yeah, it sounds like they should have put somebody from Houston in charge of that.
I don't think
that would have made too much sense.
Yeah. Probably downtown, right?
Yeah, one could have gone to McCormick and Schmitz, for Christ's sake.
Yeah, downtown.
It was all good.
Yeah.
Like I said, you can't turn down free stuff.
That's right.
I'll drive halfway around this city for free stuff. That's a cool display, though. I haven't seen that in. A buddy of mine's got a Tesla, and I haven't seen that before.
You haven't seen that? Yeah. So right now I've got it up on the multiple vision. So I've got the navigation here, right? So I can look at the navigation that we're going in multiple different ways. So this is just through our, POV, our point of view.
Yep.
But I can then look at, all right, what's
the overview?
That's the overview of the entire drive, or at least this leg of the drive. And then you can look at it north-south.
See, that one would fuck me up, because if the triangle's not pointing up,
that's why I prefer.
Yeah.
I go between this one, and then when I just want an overall gist of, okay, where am I going to be going to, and from an Uber perspective, what do I need to be thinking about as far as staging for the next ride and whatnot. I take a look at that. I almost never look at the north-south stuff. That doesn't really help me. But yeah, so you got that, and then it's got weather display, so I'll let you know we're good to go. No rain in the forecast, at least for now, although it does look like we got some rain to the northwest of us. But
it's pretty slick.
Yeah, got that. And then obviously this is a Tesla, so I need to know chargers, and it's Houston, so they're all over the place.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Texas, it's the home of Tesla,
So you got this thing driving by itself right now, then?
I'm in full self-driving. I haven't done a thing since y'all got in the car.
So how does it know to change lanes like that?
Artificial intelligence.
But why? So it's within a certain distance of your upcoming turn?
Well, it's a little bit more complicated than that. So
it changed lanes right now by itself?
Yeah, it's doing everything by itself. It's making all of the decisions.
So you programmed...
I don't program a thing. Tesla does. Elon Musk programmed it. I don't do anything.
That's pretty fucking... This is wild.
Yeah. This is going to take us all the way to Katy, and I won't do a thing.
So my buddy's got a Tesla, but I've never seen it in full auto like this before.
Most people... So, I think Elon mentioned in the last quarterly earnings call, he said we're still at a place where only 15%, I believe, 10 to 15% of Tesla owners even use the full self-driving, or what they're calling self-driving now. Yeah. And there's probably a lot of reasons for it. I think probably the two main reasons are that it used to not be this good. So it's gotten a lot better. It's like anything with AI. Like the first time you used ChatGPT, it was probably like laughable. And now the LLMs are getting pretty damn good. Same thing with this AI. It has gotten really, really good.
So
but 2 or 3 years ago, it wasn't that good.
How is this going to handle the construction and shit that's coming up?
It'll handle all of it. Yep. In fact, that's really, honestly, there's certain areas where the self-driving artificial intelligence works like better than human, and construction is one of those.
So how does it know? So do you pre-program it to do what you want, max speed, et cetera, to be, or is it?
That's a great question. So let me, I'm going to pull something up. Let me get out of this first.
See, the up thing is you can do this stuff while driving and not be worried about it.
Yeah. Now, where we're at right now, so let me put a pin in that last question you asked about the programming and whatnot.
Yep.
But I do want to respond to that. So it's another reason why I don't think the take rate has gotten up, or why Elon mentioned that it's somewhere like, or probably around 15%. Two reasons. It used to not be that as good as this. So like it's gotten really, really good. So there's probably a lot of people that bought Teslas 2, 3, 4, 5 years ago. Maybe they tried FSD one time and they were like, that scared the shit out of me and I'm never using it again. And that's legit, because it was truly beta. Well, it's no longer beta. So a lot of folks haven't tried it since it's got better. But secondly, and probably the biggest reason, and sir, what's your name again? Probably the biggest reason is the fact that I still, even with as good as this is, I am still required to sit here in the driver's seat and supervise. I've got a camera right there. That camera, its whole existence in this vehicle is only to watch me. It's making sure, number one, that I stay in the driver's seat.
Sure, that makes sense.
And then secondly, not that I'm just in the driver's seat, but that I'm awake. And not that I'm awake, that I'm actually looking, that I've got a 130 degree field of view. If I were to turn around and put my head in the back and start jaw jacking with you for like 6 or 7 seconds, the system would beep at me to get my head back
or
around.
You got that hot blonde that's fixing to do some stuff.
Well, Tesla may have a few workarounds on that one. But the reason I mention that is because this is obviously really valuable to me doing Uber now as a retiree, because it just takes all the stress away. But for the average Joe that's driving a Tesla, if they can't text and drive, like most people, let's just be blunt, this is just statistical, whether it's unfortunate or not, that horse is out of the barn. Sure. People use their phones while they drive.
Oh yeah, way too fucking
all
much.
The time.
Yep.
And everybody does it. I did it. I can't do it now because of this, but I used to do it. Everybody
you don't have
does
to do it now because of this.
Well, I can't do it now because of this, because it's monitoring me. That's what I was going to get to.
And
is that where right? But where we're at right now, because you have to supervise it, and you can't pick up your phone, and you can't. A lot of people don't want to use it because they want to use their phone while they're driving. So if I were to pick up, like I've got it right here to monitor, but if I were to take that off and hold it in my hand and start emailing or texting someone, the system would beep at me to tell me to put my phone down.
So,
And you can't override it?
I can't override it. Nope.
So, why? So it's not asking you to have maintain a little light positive pressure on the steering wheel at all?
Nope. Nope.
That's different from a lot of other EVs.
Yeah, so that used to be the case up until about a year and a half ago. So Teslas, you used to have to touch the steering wheel every 2 to 3 minutes. It was what we called the nag. And about a year and a half ago, the technology got good enough and the regulators were fine with it, that they got completely rid of the nag. So it is 100% hands-free. The only time it'll ever nag me to touch the steering wheel is if I were to do like what I told you. If I turned my head around and start talking, or if I picked up my phone or I did. But if I just sit here and continue to keep my head like focused on the road and I don't pick up my phone and I don't fall asleep, it'll never beep at me. It will never ask me to touch the steering wheel.
So back to the question about did you program a speed that you want? Because I just noticed you just...
Yep, that's what I was going to show you.
Pushed a button and you slowed down. Is it because you know this is a more...
So we're going into we're going into a construction zone. So let me you're asking some great questions. So even though it's fully autonomous, and what I mean by fully autonomous, obviously I'm still here, so technically it's not fully autonomous, because if it's fully autonomous, I wouldn't even be here. But even though it is doing the entire drive, because it's in a personal vehicle, there are 5 modes of self-driving that I can personally choose from. So the 5 modes are, I was on Mad Max. There's hurry, there's Mad Max, there's hurry, there's standard, which I'm on now, chill, and sloth. Now let me explain each of these to you. So I was on Mad Max. Mad Max is basically a Houston driver at 6:30 p.m. It is like you are going to go in and out of traffic. You're going to find the path of least resistance. It's going to search for the most efficient, while being safe, but the most efficient and least time consuming way to get you to your destination. And it's going to go up to 85 miles per hour to do it. Okay. It cannot, at this point in time, the Tesla has a governor on top of it that will not let it go past 85.
Gotcha.
But it'll go up to 80. I've had it where it's like pegged at 85 on I-45 or 6. And so for a lot of times that's fine. Like most Houston highways, you know this.
Yep.
If you're going 85 and a 70 or even 85 and a 65,
move over.
yeah, you're gonna get pushed off the road and you're gonna be on the feeder. So the reason, that's that. Hurry, I really haven't seen a whole lot of difference. I think the difference between Hurry and Mad Max is Hurry will also go really fast, like up to 85, but it just won't go in and out of traffic as much. It won't.
More cautious.
Well, I wouldn't even say cautious, because even Mad Max is like a really defensive driver.
Sure.
But it just won't. It won't, like, yeah. Mad Max is Houston at 5:30 to 7:30 p. Like, go. Standard is just like the average American driver. Oh, like it's like right down the middle of the fairway. You see it. We're in a 60 and it's going about 71, 72. In Houston, Texas, 71, 72 and a 60 is pretty average.
So how does it handle, so Houston traffic is notorious for not allowing people to merge or doing the merge
does great.
properly.
It does great.
So
and it will fight.
And go merge?
I have never, like on the version that I'm on right now, I have never had a merging issue. And you know what? I think part of the reason why is is because it'll, like, especially on Mad Max, it'll get in there and position itself to get to get a place. But what it won't do is act like it's going to drive you over.
So
and what I have found is that I think because it's not as like mean aggressive as a human driver, I've never had an issue with getting into traffic.
So how does it handle a merge lane that's got a longer than normal solid line before the merge is actually
it starts getting over, I'd say, about a quarter mile to a half mile out, about a quarter mile.
That's pretty good, because it doesn't try to cheat and get over before it's supposed to, according to the law.
No, it's totally vision. So this is what it's driving on. That this is not mapping. This is not LiDAR. This isn't geofence. This is operating off what's called a neural network.
So if there's no, if the painted lines are faded, it's kind of f***ed up.
No, it'll make its own lines. It'll know it because it's seen that scenario. So this neural network has been trained off billions and billions of clips of human drivers, good and bad, in all different situations.
That's some wild.
So obviously there are scenarios out there where the white line has faded away. And what do we do as humans? We infer a line and we stay to the left or we stay to the right or we get in the middle.
Unless you're that says, I'm going to use this as one lane and I'm moving over.
Well, it'll factor that the Tesla AI engineers will try to weed those out.
That's pretty wild.
Yeah. So it is complete. It's got 8 cameras around the car, 360 degrees field of view. And those cameras are taking in everything. So it's basically the photons are the electromagnetic photons that the cameras are seeing are just like our eyeballs, right? Exactly. That's what our eyeballs do, right? Our eyeballs see our surroundings and we take that in. And then whatever we see through our eyeballs is connected to our brain, right? And so those cameras are connected to an inference chip in the Tesla. Every Tesla has an inference chip. Do you know what an inference chip is? So like a GPU.
Sure.
And so whatever training that they've done in Palo Alto or in Austin, Texas, they'll send that out to every Tesla over the air as a software update. That software update will be put on that inference chip that's in every Tesla. And as the photons come in to the cameras, it gets filtered through that inference chip, which is essentially like our human brain. And that inference chip has all the training that Tesla has done in they're in Palo Alto or in Austin. Similar to the way I'm 57 years old. So I've been driving for 41 years. Within my brain, I have 41 years of driving experience. So as the photons, these electromagnetic photons come into my eyeballs and go to my brain, I'm using 41 years of driving experience as my inference chip.
Sure.
To decide, do I go 85 or do I slow down to 70? Yep. Do I get in this lane? Do I stay in this lane or do I need to get to the left lane? Am I taking this exit? But it's based off of my experience. That's what the inference chip is doing, is instead of me being the one doing the controls. So the photons are the inputs, the inference chip is the brain, and then the output, the controls, are the AI actually driving the car, taking care of the steering wheel, taking care of my accelerator and my brake, the same way I would if I were manually driving. It is essentially mimicking a human brain with one huge exception. This brain doesn't drink, it doesn't smoke weed, it's not married, and doesn't get yelled at by its wife or girlfriend or girlfriends or anything like that. It doesn't have a boss that got mad at it, got emotional. It doesn't have any emotion. It doesn't have any past history. It only does one thing: drives.
What did you do before you became a retiree?
I was a CPA. I worked at a place called KPMG.
Yep.
One of the big 4 accounting firms. I retired in September of last year.
It's obviously something you got so much knowledge of what this is and stuff.
Yeah, if you can't tell, I'm a Tesla nerd. I am that's one of the reasons I decided to do this in retirement is, I always tell people I like golf, but I don't love it. I like fishing, but I don't love it. And I do both of them occasionally. But when I retired, I was like, I still want to be productive. I was very fortunate. God bless me. I was able to retire at the age of 56. All my kids are grown and out of the house. I reached my number, as they say. But
full points.
Yeah, I got all, from the way that big 4 accounting firms work is basically a lot of your compensation goes into the retirement plans. And it's kind of like a points, age, years of service.
82 points.
Matrix. Yeah. Do you work at KPMG?
No, but I worked in the oil. I'm still working in the oil field, and I was.
Well, all my clients were oil field service clients.
I was.
Oh yeah.
They retired me and I had 80 points. I needed 2 more.
Oh my gosh. Oh my God! They retired you before you got to that final.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was a downturn.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah, the way the KP, and I'm sure the other big 4 firms do this, is they structure the retirement plans to incentivize you to stay into your 50s. But then once you get into your late 50s, they make it where it's not as valuable to stick around. Because they're trying to keep you.
It was 3 things: age, seniority, and salary.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the same way. Ours was age, years of service, if you will.
So seniority.
Yeah. And then obviously for us, because you have partner units, what your partner units were.
Sure.
So yeah, my biggest client that I served for 7 years was your biggest competitor.
So, being a former CPA with KPMG, what advice would you have for a transplanted Canadian, which I am, that still has some Canadian savings and pension and stuff like that?
Get the hell out of Canada.
Yeah, well, yes, that's where I'm going with this. How do I do that effectively and not spend or not waste a bunch in taxes? And
well, unfortunately, I was not a tax accountant. I was a financial account. I don't know. Do you know that? So I was an audit partner.
Okay.
So you remember that big room of nerds that were probably the company you're at has a big room of nerds that sit there typing on their computers, and every once in a while they'll ask really stupid questions about what you do, and you got to answer them 3 or 4 times, and then they'll bring a new person out 6 months later, and they'll ask you the same questions. You know those guys?
Yeah.
That was me. That was me.
Trying to trip people up and see if they answered the...
No, they weren't trying to trip anybody up. They just they're accountants. They're nerds, right? They're accounting nerds, but they don't know your business, right?
Yeah,
They don't know how to, literally horizontally drill miles into the Earth's core and bring enough energy back to keep us from not living in caves. They don't get that. They don't understand that part. They know debits and credits and T accounts and processes and controls, and risk points and all that stuff. But operationally, most of them at that young of an age don't understand your business.
See, I'm a couple months removed from turning 60, and I got to figure out how to get my Canadian shit down here.
From a tax perspective?
From a tax perspective.
Yeah, that one, you're going to have to probably talk to somebody who's a trans-border tax person. which we had a lot of those at KPMG. I obviously didn't work. Transborder, not transgender.
Well, the reason I'm asking these questions is because it was actually like less than 2 weeks ago, I was having a conversation with somebody else about this, and they said KPMG is who you want to talk to.
Oh, okay. Excellent. Well, I do know some, obviously I know tax people at KPMG, but from a personal tax perspective, I'm not sure you even need to go to KPMG, though. I mean, because you're going to spend a lot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, if you go to a big four firm, I mean, I hate to take money out of the mouths of somebody at KPMG, but I'm trying to also be like, my CPA license demands that I do my fiduciary responsibility. Like, on an individual level, there's a lot of tax CPAs that can help you with that individual, and they'll charge you a tenth of what KPMG would. Because you got to remember, KPMG's people, they're focusing on like doing taxes.
Yeah, big stuff.
I know KPMG does a lot of work, tax work. I want to say they pay them. There was a time when I think they paid us $1 million a week for tax work. Oh, yeah.
Wow. I know, so I transferred around a lot with them. And every time I came to the U.S., it was always, or for the most part, it was KPMG tax, the tax stuff. But now, a small chump change.
Yeah.
Nothing strange about mine.
Well, you know what you can do? Are you still an employee? You employ at a different. Okay. Does your company have and forgive me, you can keep all of it, like don't use names. But is your company public or private?
Private.
Okay. Y'all do get audited though.
Yes.
Okay. Does your company also have an outside tax service provider?
That I do not know, and that's a very good point. I'll have to.
Because that's what I was going to tell you. You might be able to get it done for free if you go through your company, and your company already. Does your company have international operations?
Yes.
Okay, then they definitely have a outside tax provider. So that's one of the questions you need to ask.
So it's also our company is owned by an equity backer.
Okay. So, private equity?
Yeah.
Okay. So you're a private equity portfolio company.
Yep.
Okay. So I guarantee you that private equity company has a preferred tax provider, just like they have a preferred audit firm.
You're so right there in front of my face. I never even thought.
Yeah. So I would reach out to. Do y'all have a tax VP or a tax director at your company?
No.
Let's say that again.
No.
You don't have a person that's within the company internally in charge of income taxes?
Well, they probably do. In some cases,
guarantee you do.
It's small, so somebody obviously does, but it's
probably your controller. Do y'all have a chief accounting officer or controller?
We have
CFO.
We have a controller type dude.
Okay,
Yeah.
I would go to that person, to that dude. He's going to definitely know. And what I would tell him is, hey, obviously I've got this cross-border matter that I'd like to make sure I'm doing properly. Do we, or does our private equity parent company have a outside service provider that does all the international taxes for us? And if so, can I talk to them? Because that's what I've seen done. I mean, that happened all the time.
Sure. And I would expect that in those companies.
Yeah. So we actually did almost all of the international. We call it expat tax.
Yep.
And we handled all of the expat tax.
I was expat for a few years.
Yep. And we handled everything, soup to nuts. And so that we just worked on like a big retainer. And so any and all issues that came down, they would just handle them. And
so I don't know what I told them, but when I was expat, that MBO tax, that was phenomenal, man. You pay your regular taxes and then some, and then whatever tax laws of the country you're working in, they turn around and you get reimbursed all of that stuff
Yeah.
on the backside.
Yeah, you
So
get
it's like paying fucking 5% tax.
you get equalized.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
when
essentially,
I lost in my divorce, in 2 years of working international, I got it all back.
that's awesome. And I've been through one of those too. It's amazing our lines of work that seems like divorces kind of go right hand in hand with those. But I'm happily married again now. I won't fuck it up, hopefully.
Yeah. So I'm on marriage number 3, and I've been married longer to this one than I have the other 2.
Wow, well, good for you,
So
man.
I guess
you
I
found the right one.
I found the right one.
You know, you're like a private equity fund. Sometimes you got to go into 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them until eventually you find the one that works.
Yeah, it's almost like I'm doing my own investing. Right? I look at shit a couple of times first.
Yeah. Well, the main thing I hope for y'all is that
This is cool. It's doing it by itself.
it's doing everything by itself. I hope this hits for y'all. Like I know how the private equity where I worked on a lot of private equity portfolio companies, so I hope this one hits for you, man. Because I've seen some of them that were just hit out of the park. I've got a couple of friends that worked at portfolio companies, and they're not Uber driving. I can say that. I can tell you that. Not that I love Uber driving, but you know what I mean. I'm saying that tongue in cheek.
This went on its own. Yeah. Yeah. It
did I pushed a button at Fleming's, and I haven't done anything since y'all got in the car.
It's wild. So yeah, back to it's going pretty well.
That's awesome.
You know,
How is the oil patch doing right now? Because honestly, a year and a half since I've been retired, I'll be honest with you, I have not kept up with the oil patch. Are we? I know oil prices have come down a bit here lately.
To be honest with you, it's probably a little bit slower than it was under the Democrat administration.
That's interesting.
So
that doesn't make a lot of sense.
It actually does. It makes a lot of sense because as Republican as 99% of the oil field workers are,
yeah,
the best times in the oil patch are when Democrats are in power.
Usually is
because they
inflation.
So
obviously with inflation, oil prices go up.
Sure. So and Trump's drill baby drill plan wasn't necessarily get more activity going as it was lower the prices.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit slower now than it was. However, it's not at the bust cycle that the industry typically experiences.
Yeah.
So if it maintains what it's doing, it'll more than get me through what I need.
Yeah. Well, the one thing, again, I haven't been keeping up with the oil patch as much, but being a Tesla dude and kind of now that I'm more involved in that kind of ecosphere, I will tell you one thing that is definitely going to be a big bonus for the oil and gas business are all these AI data centers.
Sure.
And so the reason why I say that is they are just eating up enormous amounts of electrical power. Well, what's the number one way we make electrical power in this country? Natural gas generation, right? And so, I mean, I don't know how in the world every Tom, Dick, and Harry with a freaking, coil tubing rig in the back of a Ford F-350 isn't out there, tubing wells for natural gas right now.
Right.
I mean, they better be. Well, I mean, I get it. Obviously, there's other macro and micro things that go into play into getting folks out there and getting wells drilled. But, dude, we are woefully behind. Like, these AI data centers, I am telling you, man, they're currently just eating up power, but they're being built out by the day. Like, every day there's like a brand new AI data center getting announced. And the more that those get built out, we're going to need natural gas, dude.
Sure.
Lots
of it.
It's
never going away, even for the EVs, right? I mean, you need all
I mean, that's the number one. That's why when people ask me, like, which energy do you like, I say yes. Because we need all of it right now. Right now, and I will tell you, Elon says this, and most of don't get me wrong, there's obviously going to be a fairly large contingent of the Tesla community that's like, no, it's all got to be solar and batteries. And then, there's the other part of the, I think the more, the pragmatic of us, and Elon is in this group, is like, hey, look, solar and batteries are great, but right now we need everything.
So
'Cause-
you said you being the self-professed Tesla nerd,
Yeah.
where do you see the Tesla stock going in the next year or two?
Well, I hope it's going north because I've got I'm all in. I'm just going to be blunt and transparent with you. I believe in Tesla and Elon to such a degree that I've put 100% of my net worth into it.
So Tesla is my Apple stock of the 80s.
Yep.
And
Well,
right now-
ready.
right
Buckle
now-
up. You see, you know how much value this is getting in the Tesla stock right now? Goose egg. What you've just experienced right now is literally zero value attributed to it in all Wall Street analyses of Tesla. This is the biggest kept secret. Like, people don't believe this even exists. Like, if you talk to, y'all are both really, really smart people. You're professionals in the energy field. And you're sitting here going like, did you believe this was a reality before you actually experienced it?
Well, I didn't really.
You have information arbitrage right now.
I only realized what Tesla was probably less than 10 years ago.
Do you understand what I just told you?
Yes.
You have information arbitrage now.
So with that in mind, where the gist of my question going is I've got my internal sell point, and
I don't have any sell point because that shit, they haven't gotten any value for FSD, and Optimus, the robot, is going to be, dude, look at that. So when he flicked, did you see that?
Yep. The car said I'm going to go there.
And then we took it. So it literally knows that when somebody does that, you go, because we got there at the same time, little chicken dance, but because it's been trained off of humans, it knows that when a human being does the double flash, they're telling you to go. Dude, they're getting zero value for this right now. Zero.
It's still heavily subsidized by the government, yes?
Who, Tesla?
Well, not necessarily Tesla, but the whole EV industry.
No, I think it's because they were scared from Gen 1.
Yeah, they're not getting subsidized at all. I mean, not to get into the whole, but because I'm with you fellas. I'm from your world, but there's no way that the EVs come close to the oil and gas business for subsidies, right? So no, EVs were getting a $7,500 credit. Like if you bought one, you get 70. Now it's zero. There's no incentive whatsoever. The only incentive is that they're just f***ing good. They're better. Like this car makes every other car look stupid.
Well, so back to the stock price. Right now, my head is telling me if it hits $500, I've made a fair, decent.
Dude.
Or should I keep it?
Not
longer?
financial advice, but if I knew you, like obviously, this is going to be the last time we ever talk. But if I knew you, I would come over to your house in my Tesla and whoop your ass. If I was your friend,
I like that.
and you told me, hey, I've done really, really well. Hey, it's 2007 and I did really well on Apple stock and it's 4X. So I'm going to go ahead and take money off well, where would you be right now?
Yeah.
Where would you be if you sold all your Microsoft stock in 1991?
Yeah,
Where would you be
where would you be if you didn't sell it? I'd be Elon Jr.
Is this it?
Pretty close.
Pretty close. So it's going to a pin. What's your
House right here.
Oh, is it behind this truck?
Across the street.
Oh, sorry. Is this good right here?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I got the. You're gonna press on the button. It looks like I got another stop.
Yeah. You
Okay.
gotta take me home.
Okay, perfect. What was your name, sir? It was nice talking to you too, sir.
Too.
And,
Although you're quiet, now get out.
No shit. I was soaking up all the information.
All right, dude.
Thanks, bud.
Later.
all right. Now I want you to watch this. So now, all right, we've confirmed that stop. You're gonna send the navigation back over. You're gonna get new navigate. Let me let that update. Sometimes because of the, let's see, let me
The
just
signal?
the signal. Get that over. There we go. Is that it? All right.
Yep.
put that in there. See that? Start self-driving. Recognizes we're parked behind a truck, so it's going to reverse itself to make some room.
Now, is it smart enough to pull into somebody's driveway and turn around?
So I had it set for curb. So look here. You want me to have it so I've got it, let's see, driveway. So we're going to park in your driveway.
Okay.
So I was showing you the settings. Oh, it went down the, wonder why it went down. So that was a flub. It was going this way, but when it does flub and gets to a dead end, it'll get itself out of this, but it should not have gone down this way. I don't know why it did it. And the navigation knew that it was
a little bit timid about backing up a little further.
Yeah, it's not going to like do it. It's going to be, but this is the way humans probably should do it.
That's
like there'd be a lot less dings on the back of people.
No offense, but that looks like a woman trying to turn around right there.
Yeah, but you know what? How many cars in Houston, Texas have you seen with all sorts of scratches and bumps on the back?
Yeah.
What do you think those are from?
I hear you, buddy.
So, yeah, dude. So this is, again, not financial advice. Then again, it doesn't matter even if I say it's fun.
This is just
this conversation. I'm a retiree. I will freely admit and take this also in fullness and fairness and full disclosure is that when I was already a Tesla investor, so I enjoyed a run up in Tesla as well. But when I retired, I believe in Elon Musk, and I know I'm sounding like a cult member. I'm not, but I do. I
believe in it too.
I believe Elon is a singular person that we have not seen the likes of since Thomas Edison or
the amount of shit that dude is doing in his
he's catching rockets.
Yeah.
So
and running a car company and amongst a bunch of other stuff.
Now, granted, does he have some quirks? Of course he does. He's on the spectrum, right? He's got a little bit of autism. So, but just like all folks on the autism, he will say so. Fortunately, Trump is, believe it or not, Trump is the guy that was even keeled during that.
Yeah.
It's like you have this really, really brilliant Mensa, kid that's like a 4.0 at Rice University, whose dad is a rich dad.
Yeah,
and he's just lashing out at his dad. And the dad, who everybody paints him as this dude that's just erratic.
That was pretty cool that your car got.
Did you see that?
Yep.
Did you see that?
Yep.
I don't, like, I'm so used to that now, I don't even bring it up.
That's crazy.
But anywho, yeah, so I believe that Elon is so I say that to say that because of Elon, and because I do believe in, like, I'm not with Tesla because of, I'm not trying to save the, look, we need to compete with China. That means we're going to need to go hard. Like, we won't have, like, people that are like, no, we got to stop all this. Like, look, if China wins, none of us will care about. What's going to save the planet?
Efficiencies.
What's going to save the planet is actually, bringing abundance to people, right? Like bringing so much good technology to the world that you lower the prices of everything.
Right.
That's what Elon's trying to do. He's literally trying to create what he calls an abundance, sustainable abundance, right? And that involves everything.
The environmental Bible thumpers.
But they were still like pragmatic, and they obviously didn't hate billionaires because they loved Elon, right? So they're a little bit more pragmatic. They weren't throwing Campbell soup on a painting, in other words,
Yeah.
right? But they have definitely, a lot of them have left the nest, so to speak, because, you know, Elon has gone so hard in the paint. Well, first of all, he went hard in the paint for Trump, right? I mean, he literally went to Pennsylvania and won Pennsylvania for Trump.
Yes.
I mean, that's, at the end of the day.
And the only reason that Musk did that is because he disagreed with the assassination attempt, because the guy was a wingman.
Well, I think he already admired Trump, and already, I think he obviously agrees with Trump a lot more. Whoa. Now, I don't know what that was trying to avoid. I think that was a false positive, right?
That little hump that had
Yeah,
lines.
but I don't think you need to move over for, like, the hump's all the way up. Was that hump uneven? I think that was a false positive.
I couldn't tell.
Yeah. And there was definitely a hump there. And maybe it was a little uneven, but yeah. So every once in a while I'll get a false, you know what I mean by false positive?
Yep.
Like, and I'd rather it do false positives than have a bad negative. Like where like something it doesn't do it. Like, oops. But yeah, I went all in on Tesla. I went hard in the pay. So I was already an investor, but when I retired, I am such a believer in the technology and what Elon's going to do, especially now that he's got his comp package. You don't think that dude's got an incentive to make? What would you do for $1 trillion?
Well, with his, I mean, I'd sail off into the sunset. However, that's not his mindset. His mindset is, I'm going to make this work even better.
Well, he wants to become, his ultimate thing, ultimate is he wants to make us multiplanetary.
Yeah.
He wants to, and beyond Mars. Like Mars is the first step, right? He wants to be the guy, right, that sets us on that multiple, because that's like, if you were to talk about, well, where do we go as human beings, right? Like, what's the next step? We're adventurers, right? That's in our DNA. Like, we get in boats and go across the ocean.
Yeah.
We come at, like, somebody had to come out of the cave for the first time.
Yeah.
Right? And like, hey, we're hungry as in this cave. Somebody's gonna gotta go out there, and yes, I might die, but I gotta go bring us back some food.
Yeah.
Like, that's in our DNA. And Elon, what he wants to do is he wants to be that guy. He wouldn't put it this way, but I'll put it this way. He wants to be the guy in the history books that's known as the human that made us multiplanetary.
And you know, we've got those people in the past as well.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with that. So yeah, I've been so over half of my personal trading on the side, outside of, you know, the financial advisor folks.
Yeah.
Just me doing my own. Well over half of it is wrapped up in Tesla stock, and if it hits $500, and then some.
That's awesome.
Which would be enough to. And I sit there and I'm
but man,
I got 2 years to go before I say I'm going to retire. But if they keep paying me stupid money to do what I'm doing, I'll continue working. But
well, that's what, if they're paying you stupid money to do, and if the portfolio company you're at, if it hits, you'll get crooked numbers on something like that, right? I mean, that's kind of usually the way it works out.
Yeah. So,
Like, in other words, like, y'all get bought out by a big oil field service. Like, y'all get bought out by. Is it even around anymore?
Yeah,
okay, they're still around.
Yeah.
I didn't know I knew was going through. What about what's that company that really had some issues for a while?
Yeah, they're still a business. They're still not doing.
They've gone through 8
better.
bankruptcies.
I would not invest in. They're one of my main competitors, and I wouldn't invest in.
Well, they've just, man, they internally, they just have had so many damn issues.
Tell you what, I would have really loved to have had is stock after the when it went down to.
Oh yeah, yeah. You know, when they spun off
Yep.
back in the day. What was that, like 2007? I actually worked on that deal.
It was 2000 and
I think it was 2007. 2007, 2008, maybe 2006.
I think it was earlier than that because I was in-house up in the Woodlands.
I was a client of ours.
Yeah, I want to say 2000.
I helped out with the successful efforts conversion. It
Oh, yeah.
used to be full cost. They were one of the last full. You know what I mean by full cost versus. There's two ways to account for oil and gas E&P operations. Full cost, where basically everything you spend on drilling and exploration, you capitalize it and just throw it in a big old full cost pool, and then you amortize that pool, and then you look at it for impairment every quarter. Successful efforts is you expense everything that did not lead to a successful exploratory well.
Okay.
Yeah. So most companies follow the successful efforts approach, but a lot of companies still, had that full cost. Anyway, that's boring.
No,
But yeah, I helped out
I
with
find that interesting because I don't know how that part of the world works.
Yeah. So you're more on the oil field, so like manufacturing?
No, I was I've always been on the drilling / exploration side.
Okay.
I did offshore cementing.
Yep. Absolutely.
Actually, I was in-house at the
So you traveled a lot then too.
I did. I moved 9 times.
I was going to say, if you were in the drilling and evaluation, well, they called that segment drilling and evaluation.
Yeah.
So they had drilling and evaluation, completions and production, and then that they had like another one, which is like software and G&G, that sort of.
Called it well intervention or well services.
Yeah. Had one of those too. So that one was separate. So like the stuff that would be like wireline and coil tubing and like workover type work.
Yeah.
So that was they had 4 segments. Yeah.
That'd be a well
But
intervention.
drilling and evaluation was like their highest margin unit, because you always that's where the highest margins are, is like the actual, exploratory drilling stuff.
So I designed the cement work for the very first well drilled after Macondo. It was like less than a mile away from Macondo.
Oh, wow. Holy dude.
It wasn't that hard. That just tells you how much up.
Believe me, I remember I was at, God, where was I? Was I at that day? But I remember I was at one of my drill, because I like I told you, my all my clients were oil field service companies. I lump in drilling contractors with oil field service companies, but I was. So I was at that day. That was one of my clients back then. And, man, dude, it was, that was like everybody everywhere in Houston was going to their legal, like checking every contract, or like, what do we have it? Like, cause they knew that it was about to, people were about to, like, big time.
Yep.
And so they were going through contracts. They were bringing in forensic. They wanted to make absolutely sure there was no way that they were anywhere in that line of indemnification.
How quickly can I?
Make sure I'm out of this?
I don't know who you're talking to or what you're talking about. I wasn't there.
Yeah. Fortunately for them, they didn't have to worry about that, because they're all onshore.
Yeah.
They were at that time.
They had some continental shelf.
They did, but it wasn't a lot. They were mostly Alaska, like Prudhoe Bay. They were Kazakhstan. They were obviously onshore U.S. That was their bread and butter. And then Mexico was a big one. They had a little bit of continental shelf, but I mean, there was by the time, like when I was out there, most people were getting out of the shelf. Because it was just, they were just selling it for pennies on the dollar.
Well, the gas, it was all gas, and it, they peter out 90 days. Yeah.
So everybody was trying to go further and further out, and all the continental shelf stuff. Quite frankly, there were a bunch of private equity firms coming in. Like this would have been like the late aughts, early 2010s.
Yep.
You had every private equity firm and their brother were swooping in, and I'm not sure why it won't turn red here. Or why it won't turn red.
Right.
Why it won't turn right on red, because we can.
Yep.
Maybe it's because of the construction. It just wants to be very prudent.
So I was just going to say, you know, it's handled this little part of the construction very, very well.
Yeah.
Quite to my surprise.
Yeah. As a human, I would turn right now.
Yep.
It is. So there we go. So let's see. Yeah, there's nothing I would, and it does. Like on a normal situation, it will turn right on red because it knows you can turn right on red in Texas. It knows state laws
And
too.
just the fact that it turned fully into the lane it was supposed to be, I mean, because it's hard to do under full control anyways.
Yeah. It's really, really good. You're seeing it. I have not done a damn thing other than play around with the modes.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah.
This is, I haven't been tempted to get a Tesla even remotely yet, but this is as close as it's been coming. This is crazy.
I, as you might imagine, I get a lot of oil and gas executives like yourself, and the one thing they mentioned to me is like, I think everybody's past like that. They share a couple of things in common with you. They're all Tesla investors. They're like that, because there used to be, it wasn't that long ago in my in our industry, you could not park. Like if you brought a Tesla into the parking lot back in
they run you off.
You would have gotten run off. So I want to say up until maybe 7-8 years ago had a policy where no Teslas on any of their parking lots.
Oh, I know.
And they have gone 180 past that. Every time I pick up a oil and gas executive, they always tell me like, yeah, my CFO drives a Tesla or the CEO drives a Tesla now. They're all investors in Tesla stock and have been for 4 or 5 years, all that sort of stuff. But none of them own one. And this right here is what has pushed a few of them over, because some of them have long commutes, and they're like, man, when they see this, they're like, so they start thinking like, man, my commute sucks, but if I had this, granted, I still got to supervise, but still, I'll
be honest, man, this has blown me away.
I'm glad, man. Yeah, do what you need to do. Obviously, what I would say, and because I know everybody's got their own personal needs. So, is Tesla going to go to 500? Yeah, obviously it is. Hell, it may get to 500 before the end of the year. We don't know. But it's also going to, again, not financial advice, it is obviously going to go way beyond that.
Where do you think it's going to go before it splits again?
Well, I don't know. Where do you think? I can tell you where I think it's going to go. Not split adjusted. Split adjusting is a corporate decision, right?
Sure. I'd like to see it get up to 1,000 or better before.
That's usually what most companies do. Is once it gets into the 4 digits, that's when they'll split it. Right, because it's human psychology at that point. People want a stock that's in the double or triple digits, right?
My dice juggle is trying to find obviously I'm trying to guard against the loss.
Yeah.
At my age, but I also want to maximize thing, and I've been affirmed.
You want me to tell you just quite honestly what I personally think is going to happen with Tesla stock? Is I think it's going to get to 2,500 by the end of this decade. And that's going to be almost completely due to this. Like right now, this has 0 value.
That's not long away.
No, that's not. But this is not just going to be unsupervised and in everybody's Tesla, but it's the robo-taxi. I'm assuming you know about. So I put it for driveway. Is it going in the right driveway?
It is, yeah.
There you go. Like, look, I mean, dude, So you're going to
man.
sell your, why don't you go on inside and sell your Tesla stock now?
No, I think I'm going to withdraw my sell price. I truly am. I think so.
You're so nice talking to you, brother.
Appreciate it, man.
Absolutely, man.
You have a great night.
You too, man.
Enjoy.
Yes, sir.